she's on her way over here right now, but she's like in charge of the schedule. So Saber and I will be like,
she's our agent in a lot of ways, that doesn't get paid.
She's calling me right now. Hello? That's fine. Can you make it down here anyway? Just sneak in and tell the Macy Race Bus later. I'm wearing her badge.
You're wearing her badge.
I found your badge. I'm wearing your badge. I lost mine, yes. Okay, I'll see you soon. Love you. Further proof that it was a very early morning for me. I mean, 11:30. Wow, the sun was not even setting.
On the West Coast, so right?
Yeah. So I mean, that only made it 9:30. But yeah, we have so much that.
What about time when we're sitting with somebody who's from Israel?
What time is it over there? What time is it over there? It's like 11 hours or time zone, I think, something like that. It's like plus 2 GMT. I don't know what it counts. Whatever. It's too early for me. Yeah, I was gonna say you're making me do math already. I don't do math. So have you guys introduced yourselves already?
No. I'm Sarah's Bar Guys. Hello.
Woo! Grace Bus, hi. I'm the living Super hi.
Woo! Hi.
What's really fun about this convention and this panel is that this is the first time we've gotten Tombstone up here. So very excited about that. Thanks for joining us up here. Obviously, Tombstone's been around since the very beginning, the very first Bronies React that ever went up. I'm like, here we go. Never was.
Hurt my feelings. The money was the first one.
I just didn't know who you were yet. That hurts my feelings. So how many of you have seen Bronies React? Okay. All right. What I like is that some of the people in the audience didn't raise their hand. Basically, what Bronies React is I think you were starting to talk a little bit about this, but it's a series that spawned because the Fine Brothers they have a series that started as Kids React, which was kids reacting to memes, and then just internet memes. And then they were like, hey, let's go a step further and do a Teens React, and we'll have those teens react to kind of more mature topics and whatnot around the world. And one of the topics they had them react to was My Little Pony. They showed them the intro and said, all right, why do you think a bunch of older guys like this show? And they were like, I don't know. What was that? So it wasn't the most flattering of responses on their part.
One guy was really cool.
There were a couple. There was one guy who's like, I love the show. I'm joining the herd.
Was he like the next one was wearing Bronies t-shirt?
No, that was the guy who hated the show.
Yeah.
The next time, there was a guy who was like, hey, so let me in. And yeah, so.
You real hope with feet, right?
Yeah, right. So what happened was I looked at this and I'm like, it'd be kind of funny, I would think, if we reacted to their reactions. And thus, Bronies React to Teens React, My Little Pony Friendship Was Magic was born. And in my head, I'm like, it'll be an interesting turnout. We'll see how people like it. We had Tomb on there, we had Soul Rack on there, Dusty Cat was on it. Yeah, there was a group of us on there. And in my head, I was like, I wonder how this will do. I wasn't expecting in 3 days it would hit 100,000 views. Get a phone call. Thank you. That's my girlfriend. Oh, yeah, of course. I'm the one calling you. I'm your girlfriend, though. All right, I'll be right there.
All right, I guess you have to go on your end.
Bye. Okay, now it's our pleasure, right?
Oh.
Mark Garley. How is it? It's really good. I got a meeting recently. It's really good. What's your favorite character? Prince of Speech. Really? Gold Prince of Speech. Al Gold or Jeff Goldblum. Oh, we're talking about Mario? Yes. Luigi. Jeff Goldblum, dude. Good morning. Is she breaking up with you? Well, that's like every day.
You know what you do? Like when they like juggle thing, you're just gonna beat the pen on like get in again.
And the funny part about it too was how she's like, "Are you wearing my badge?" And in my head, I'm like, "Sarah, do you really think I was?" Oh, hi. Yes, I am wearing your badge. That does say Toodles, and I think she raised it. I need to find my badge. They're gonna kick me out.
I gave it to the charity auction.
Thanks.
It's gonna be devalued, actually.
I know, right?
You gotta pay them now.
Hi, Sarah. Sarah, ladies and gentlemen.
Woo!
Welcome to Talk with me.
Really a very patient woman.
Yes. So yeah, that basically boils it down. That's how the series started. It was incredibly successful, a lot more successful than I ever would have imagined it would have started out. And that's why we were like, well, why don't we continue it? And then the next episode was around the conflict with Derpy, which was in itself kind of a serious episode too. Yeah, and so we took that, and then came when we started reacting to episodes. And the episode ones are a bit silly, I guess you could say.
The entire series is silly.
Excuse me. We Bronies take our reaction seriously.
I wore a turkey baster on my head. And I loved every moment of it.
I love how there's a Tumblr post with that picture, and it had like the title Bronies React, and it had like 80,000 notes on Tumblr.
I was waiting for like some future employers like, so Steven, you explain this to me? No.
It was a marketing ploy, and it worked. But yeah, so
selling turkey basters? Our turkey baster is so amazing, it lives on your head.
Multi-use. It's fantastic.
Turn on the turkey.
Yeah, so unless you guys have anything to add, first off, again, I want to thank everybody for joining at this panel. We're really excited to be here. And yeah, if we can kind of jump into Q&A, and if you guys have any like specific questions, like I still don't know what Bronies React is, and now I'm really confused. You can ask that question. So yes. We have done react to a couple fan works, maybe less, not necessarily less popular ones, but maybe not the favorites in the fandom.
Infamous is the word you're looking for.
Infamous, that's the word. We've reacted to a couple Cupcakes animations, as well as Smile HD. Yeah. And for any kids in the audience, don't look those up, please.
Unless you're alone.
Or at least don't let your parents see that you're looking.
Before the next question, just be sure to like people in the last room repeat the question and then,
Oh yeah, that's right.
They can hear us.
So someone was asking if we've reacted to, or will react to any fan works. See, Tim's a master at this stuff.
He showed up on time.
He did.
Why?
As far as other fan works, that's never out of the question. It's just, I know about the time Snowdrop came out, Double Rainboom also came out, and then there was something else that was, I think, there might have been an episode that was also coming out too. And I think that's why there was so much happening at once. Plus, that was, if I'm correct, I think that was around convention time. And it gets super clogged with timing of those. And that's clogged? Okay. The sad part was, this is how the panel will go. He talked about toilets, and I'm like, do you remember we were having that conversation about plungers can't be any more perfect?
No, we were talking about like what technology cannot be improved upon. It's like the pinnacle of like technology itself. I'm like, a plunger. It's perfect. To add on to that story, I was driving to church and I saw this little sign that says clogging classes. I thought, well, just talk to me on Saturday night after tacos. And I'm like, oh, the shoes. Never mind.
But yeah, so to answer your question, it's always a possibility. Yes. Yeah. I was talking about
clogging toilets. I hope that answers your question.
Next question. Well, all right. So she's asking, how long does it take to get all the footage for the videos and the process? I'm going to actually start with you two.
Wait, does that include us playing TF2 for about like 3 days before we start?
It should, because that's a vital part of the process.
He feels it.
Yeah, right?
That's why there's so many bronies that people just do. Okay, never mind. So,
Kicked off with like Pinkie Pie and just sniped you, and it's like,
Why Pinkie Pie? Twilight Sparkle's dumb.
anyway, so, process is big. Well, Cyberspark does the editing, but initially when it all comes to it, it's like, Cyberspark, he and we chat a lot, and whenever he has an idea for like a new Bronies React, he comes to any one of us. Stop it. You know, I have like ADD. It was like, if you do something, it just breaks my concentration. It just breaks my a little bit. Stop! Stop doing this to me. Anyway, so he comes to any one of us. He asks us, hey, I have like this script where it's like basically like stuff from the episode where he thinks we should react to, but technically he gives us the freedom to react to whatever we want in that, clip or episode or anything. Stop it. And it's just like, this is the deadline, record this stuff, and every time that it tells us this is the deadline, we always record it on the day of the deadline because we're so lazy. Yeah. It's like, all the time it's the same thing, except for a few exceptions where sometimes I feel like, oh, okay, let's record it earlier this time, but that never happens.
No. And then, it's funny you bring that up because I'll be like, okay, let's see, 2 weeks. I like to give people enough time to get the footage in. That's one reason why the reacts usually come out, like, say, about a month after the episode airs. Some people are like, an hour after the episode, where's the Bronies React? What's going on? And the reason for that isn't, like, some people, I've heard some people ask, like, does it take so long because then you have to, like, write what everyone says and then send it to them? I'm like, no. Basically, what happens is I know that everyone that does these videos has a life. And I like to just not be like, hey, I need this fast. I just try to say, like, usually it's about 2 weeks. Sometimes I try to narrow it down to a week just to speed up the process. Which we probably ignore. Thank you. But it is funny because then I'll, working with like 8 to 10 people on these reacts, they're pretty big collabs in a short amount of time. And like Toom said, I'll keep in contact with people and they'll be like, don't worry, I'm going to film my stuff today. Next day. No, I'm going to film it tomorrow.
No, next day, 2 weeks later. Oh, where is it? Can you give me one more day, please? And I'll record it for you.
Oh, okay.
and then you have D-Notive where like, you're like, almost like D-Notive. Do you all know what D-Notive is?
Yeah.
He is a very, he's a musician. He's really
He's a great musician, but he's an awesome human being.
Yes, he really is.
He's beautiful.
On the inside and the outside. He's very well spoken and has a very eloquent thoughts. And like when he films and stuff, like he told me that he'll film like 2 hours where it's uncut. And he's like, here you go. And like, have fun logging that.
No, yeah, he's great. Everyone that's been on the Reacts, so I want to give a shout out to everyone who has been on the Reacts on the live stream. Everyone just wave at the camera. And hi, everyone. Thank you. So really, as far as the process goes, everything comes together, like I said, about 2 weeks, sometimes 2.5. I get everyone's footage, edit it down, then re-edit it, then put it in order, and get everything going. So usually it's about a month process. If we can narrow it down, which I've tried a couple times, sometimes we get it out a little bit sooner. This last React was like a 3-week turnover. I was like really proud of that. It was like 3 weeks.
We're professional Brony reactors.
We're professional. I love when people ask that too, because I put this little title screen at the beginning that says "Professional Bronies on Closed Course." And people are like, "Oh, what makes you a professional Brony?" I'm like, they're like, they have like it's a joke. I'm not trying to say anything.
Well, professional means that we have this professional means that we're getting money. So
right, we're being paid by Hasbro, right?
We're not being paid by anyone. What are you talking about?
Oh, you guys didn't get those checks.
Wait a second! You monetize these videos, where's our cut?
Yeah.
I wish I could monetize
I
videos.
want my 53 cents.
We're talking about monetizing. The videos have like half of them are just clips of the show that we're reacting to. So obviously, I can't monetize them. Hasbro. They're probably checking right now like, there's no ad here. There's actually phony ads on my videos because Hasbro's already found them and said, oh, we can take advantage of
my videos, some of them like from Ballad or Chronicles, they'll say, check out more from Hasbro Studios on their own YouTube page. I'm like, that's mine! And they're like, no, that's ours that you're using from us, so it's ours.
You do music, obviously. Have you ever had a claim that you're like, where did this come from?
It only happened on Just Be Smile remix. That's the only one I had. Just because, you know, when it comes to monetizing videos that have like clips from the show or anything that relates to the show, I just know, yeah, it's a gray area. I won't like monetize any of those, and I don't mind not monetizing them because I know that if I do that, I would get like my butt ripped off by Hasbro.
Hasbro's like, that's our 53 cents. We're here for this corner. The time period, not those.
All right, next question. Yes. All right, so the first question that he asked was, how do I choose the Bronies on the Bronies React? And then the second one was about how do you deal with basically the people who don't like Bronies. My worst story. Yeah, no,
In regards to the first question, that totally depends on like some situations because, well, usually something like say me, I remember through YouTube PS, I think it was, back when PS was a thing, and YouTube didn't remove it.
I can't find it anymore.
Everything else.
Thanks, YouTube.
You know, I can just talk about it for an hour about how I hate YouTube just changing everything because they want to make more money. Anyway, screw YouTube. So he DM'd me back when it was a thing, and he just told me, hey, would you like to be on this Bronies React thing? And I looked it up and see the content, and I liked it, so I joined in. But after you got the people, it's like you asked us if we know anyone specific who would be nice to be on that. And sometimes there's one-off to like some of my friends that I recommended to be on the Bronies React were pretty cool, but you know after that they weren't interested in doing more of that. So
they're like, this show sucks. I don't want to be part of this.
Ew.
Yeah, so really, the first one is the most interesting one, I think, is because that one I was literally going around on YouTube typing in Bronies with a camera. Just to see what would pop up. And
Save search on.
Very important. And yeah, so what I went around, and that's how I came across, guys like Denotive and Dusty Cat. Dusty had his manliest Brony video on, and I was like, and in my head, I'm talking to guys, including Toom, thinking, there's no way that these guys are going to be like, because I always point out this number, for anyone who's making YouTube videos and going, man, if you feel like it's a struggle or you're not really getting a lot of followers, I had 167 total subscribers by the time I hit upload on the Bronies React video. So things can change really quickly. You just never know which project is going to be the one that just nails it out of the water. Nails it out of the water? You work at the Home Depot, buddy? See the problem with your water. Yes. So that one came together, kind of just people put faith in me saying, all right, I like, like Tim said, they like the idea of the project. There were a couple guys that I had contact, like I bring the wolves and the microphone, who initially were like, I'm down with this, but then ran out of time to do it. So there were a couple people who also didn't make it there, but the six of us who were on it, it set the precedent for that one. And then from there, we talked about specific people, like we had Bolt Dumblerat on the Derpy React, and she's very well known for doing her Derpy impressions and everything on YouTube. So what I like to do, especially with Equestria, that was an interesting one. For that one, I specifically wanted to find a group of people who liked the movie, who were like, I don't really care about the movie, and people who hated it, because I wanted to have it across the board. I didn't want it to be leaning too much one way, too much the other way. So when we got to, because when I do two versions of the Bronies React, it's the actual one where we react to the content. And then whenever I put up a bonus, that's generally the questions that come with it. And the bonus is usually the really insightful part that no one cares about. They're like, oh, you're not funny. But that's where we kind of really look into what did you like about this, what didn't you like about this, and just kind of questions on that part. So really, it's it just kind of goes with the flow, I guess, on choosing who's going to be on it. We have a couple normal reactors like the two guys sitting next to me, and then I always like to get someone new in on a React. So we have a couple people that are potentially lined up for future Reacts too that I think you guys would really like. I'm not going to tell you who.
Tell us.
I'll just tell you later. Just kidding. All right. Next. There's the second one where she's like. Oh yeah. This is my tomb. I'm like tomb. I need you on. No. My own pedals are on stage. Well, I'm going to let you two answer this one first about that. If you've ever had a bad experience out there. I know.
Anti-Bronies brotherhood just makes me laugh so hard.
Bronies, bro. Like, is that a group on Facebook or something?
Like posting dirty pictures of the ponies. I'm like, oh.
Did you look at stuff on the group you ladies that are?
It's the internet. I never had like experience. We get like hate on YouTube comments, but the best thing about the internet is you can like close your laptop and walk away. Yeah. And that's the way. I don't understand. Well, I've had lifestyles of 10 years of my life. I've had parents shout at me for letting their kids drown in the pool. Because I didn't put a life vest on their kid and I didn't know that their kid could swim. Like, how dare you let my kid fall in the water unsupervised? I'm like, I'm the one rescuing him, giving him to you, and you're getting angry at me. No, I'm not joking, this actually happened. More often than you think. Suburban parents are stupid.
I don't know why it sounds so stupid, but it's also stupid. It's kind of like. So wait, the question was like in regards to people who hate Bronies or Bronies because they do something stupid or both? Oh, that makes sense. Sitting on the pinnacle. Dude!
Don't worry, I'll wake up before you, so I'm good.
Yeah. We'll see, bro, we'll see. I don't know, it's like, I think the dumbest experience that I had was, I don't know. Like, I remember like a long time ago, there was this weird like chick who just, she went with a big fanfic book, and she was like, hey, can you sign it for me? And I just signed it without even looking what it was. And it was like signing like the devil for like marking them to and it's covered what it was about. It was a huge fanfic where it was no joke, like a big, weird fanfic about me, you're the Brony, Alex says, and then all the Bronies just doing crazy stuff in it. By crazy stuff, I mean 18 plus stuff. And I felt creeped out the whole time. It's like, oh. I got these stuff on eBay, so I'll buy this in $1 million and just burn it. As far as people that, because there are people obviously out there who are like, Bronies this, Bronies that, and it pops up a lot on YouTube. When I made the first Bronies React, I told myself, this is going to be one of those videos you're going to get a ton of haters commenting on, a lot of people coming in, and that's why I actually was surprised when there were more likes than dislikes on the video at the beginning. I was like, oh, okay, that's a good start. But, I mean, there were a ton of people that also showed up to post, hateful comments and whatnot, and I mean everyone that says, I knew you did. But besides Saber's part, really, it's almost a cliche answer, but you just, when you get into making content, you have to take the good with the bad, and you really, if it's constructive criticism, it can help you absorb it, even if it's something you're like, I don't like that, I had to find that out, but I can grow from this. Where if it's just a comment that pretty much none of them I can repeat, but if it's just a comment that's like, oh, all Bronies are blank, they're not. So why I don't really give any time to that kind of stuff.
It's like you're panning for gold. Like you're just you did the bad stuff out, you're looking for the good ones, constructive criticism. But yeah, you're right. You're gonna, no matter what you do, if you're getting people watching your stuff, you're getting bad comments. This is part of the job. You gotta deal with it.
Yeah, it's part of the iterate. You almost just have to go in expecting it. If you don't get a lot of it, then that's just the bonus.
People aren't hating you, they're using it wrong.
No, I always think that if you have that comment, it means when you hit it big, because it's like, it's always that point, like, if you see that comment, yes, I did.
Yeah, when people start subscribing to you so they can just bash on your content, that's one thing.
Yeah. You know, you make it big times.
All right.
YouTube comment. Question over here.
But we'll go you and then you.
We'll try to do it as quickly as possible, because what time is it now? Okay, so,
I think turn your phone here.
well, so we have 7 minutes. I think 7 is almost lunchtime.
Your question?
That one. How do we first meet and what was our first impressions of one another? It's just you two, I'm not involved in this.
Well, I'm trying to think. I think, did we meet through Soulrack?
Actually, yeah. Oh.
I think.
Introduce you to my friend!
I really remember like how I met Solar initially. I think it was also kind of like through YouTube PMs and stuff like that. But what happened is that, was it that Solar told me, I think that wasn't you PMing me, I think it was Solar telling me that he wanted to do something and I agreed to it because Solar is someone I knew already. And through him I just liked the fact that you had a pretty cool idea, like to do a Bronies React thing. That's why we kind of like all went together and did stuff like that. And did we meet in Brony Company 12? Like,
No, I we did. It was 2000.
yeah, we did. But, oh,
in the
yeah.
visitor hall.
Yeah, right.
Matt.
No, it wasn't Spencer.
And then as far as favorite I go, it's kind of a funny story because really it was we met through React. Well, not through the React. The first time I ever sent a message to this guy was because he put up a video about Derpy, about like get over it or something, and it was spiked. but
Stop crying!
But it was like it had like the sad music from Lord of the Rings. Gandalf falls down. And I'm like, and in my head I'm like, I know this song, but I can't remember what it was from. So I sent him a message saying, can you help me out? Like, what music did you use here? And you sent me.
I was talking about the delete button. I'm like, oh, it's Gandalf's fall from Gandalf.
Yeah, but so we did the React together. We got to know each other a little bit, but we never really like. Well, the speed dating thing we did was pretty good. That helped. It helped. Yeah. I mean, I was actually kind of realizing how odd you were.
Every time we switched tables, we made a move away from each other. I'm like.
And every time I tried to get away from him, he kept telling me he had to lie. But yeah, so really, EQLA was when we first hit it off. First EQLA.
We met in person at Evergreen Northwest, and it's fun because we had stupid crazy things, idiotic here at the time. But at Evergreen Northwest, when we first met, I was like, oh, hello, my name is Sport. You're East Ridge.
Nice to meet you. I'm here for my interview.
Have a fun time at this con. After the Equestria light popped up, we hung out again at Disneyland. And there's something about Disneyland that brings up the best in people. You like Mickey Mouse? I love Mickey Mouse!
We're put off, literally. So that's how we all met. And then the question I'm prepared. Favorite piece of footage? There's a lot that are up there, like they kind of plateau at the top. They're all black persons. Alright. Oh, I was actually gonna say, for anyone that's seen the last Bronies React, I was honestly surprised, even though he kept telling me what he was gonna do. When I got Jack Floyd's footage and saw what he actually did, I couldn't believe for how long he did it. And I was just like.
I went on a 3-minute rant where you screamed the entire time about drinking while he was there. Never did only one take, and like he was, like his voice, at the beginning, and then like on Sabbath, pushing after you recorded, he's like, I'm dead.
Well, I asked him, like, it took me 3 minutes of footage. Do you want to answer any of the questions? Like, okay. So, next question. Yeah. Yes. Next question. They asked about season 5 reaction, by the way, for those on the stream. And to backtrack, your question was about what was my favorite footage that I've ever received, and you really suck at this.
Well, I'm used to there being that additional mic of people talking. And so people are like, well, we technically could have done that. There's an additional mic over there. We could have done it since the start. See, I love doing the live because then I feel like, okay, there was a legitimate mic.
Oh my goodness! He's rushing the stage! Oh, cool. And you want to line on up, I suppose, or what is that?
It's Baxter's Scout. I don't get to you, but
I guess should we have people line up for?
I mean, we have like 20 minutes, right?
Yeah, let's do it. 25 minutes.
We got it. No, it's 25 minutes. Let's do like a quick line.
Yeah, so if you guys want to line up here, that way we can just keep track of all the questions.
VIP!
Yeah, don't fight. All right.
Is this thing on? Okay.
All right. So what's your question?
Yeah, give it a mic. So, just to mention, 25 minutes, we don't have that much time, so we're not going to take as much time as we can with answers.
I'm gonna
give
give
you
you
questions.
the most detailed answer.
Shut up.
What are y'all's favorite moments of being in the fandom, you two? And what's your favorite song you've ever produced?
You go first. I'll take a favorite moment.
The moment when he produced you. My favorite moment of fandom? There's so many, but I guess just going to Disneyland with you guys back in when the show was going on.
My favorite moment was when actually I loved your song, but when Eurobeat did the remix of his song. I'm kidding you. Yes, I am kidding you.
By the way, that was Eurobeat. This is really just angry. Like,
you're kidding me. My favorite moment was we met this little girl at Bronies named Grayson, and she was the most adorable thing. And she knew who every Brony was. Like, she was so a fan of, and just getting to know her and everything. It was like, my goodness, like you see the impact that you can have on anybody, and that for me was like a highlight of being part of this family.
favorite song for you? I think it's Good Old Days, but it's just because the reason is that until now, whenever I produce a song, it usually takes time because I'm always trying to perfect and everything. And Good Old Days was a thing that I thought of on the very same day, produced it on the very same day, and it just had to wait on mic. And I think it was the track didn't have to record anything. Mike just had to record his vocals, and that was like really quickly produced. And that's because I genuinely enjoyed making that song. That's why a lot of the music after Good Old Days sounded like the same. That's why the disco dreams is sounding pretty similar, and that's why many songs afterwards sounded similar until I finally blacked out and said, okay, I need to change my style seriously.
I love when you go creepy bump.
I just did it with the game.
I mean, yeah.
Alright, go.
Thank you. Woo! Two questions. First, favorite start? Are you past you? Can I touch your butt?
You have $20? Good next time. I think you called me Gamer Shark for a second. Gamer Shark.
That's a good name.
You want to buy
My second question is there any other YouTubers you guys like that aren't Bronies? Like
John.
Woo!
I mean, I like it. No, I like it because he's a very nonchalant person for someone who has so many subscribers. But yeah, it's dumb on YouTube because people are dumb. Like most of his fans are dumb. And I think that you guys, okay, now I just crossed the line. That's fine. But I just think that I just genuinely think that like he acts dumb on the internet because that's why people like him so much. But he's actually a very smart guy. I mean, some of the stuff that he says is actually pretty smart. But yeah, doesn't Justin Bieber have a YouTube page? Justin Bieber can go. Nobody has a Zoom, right? Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber.
For me, I would say LBTV Productions or Robot TV. Check it out. That's my racing channel. Yeah, no, there's I don't really have any specific ones, but I kind of.
Mine?
Yeah, you're not a Brony.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I have a favorite YouTuber. The penguin, also known as Critical.
Red Letter Media, that's great too. That's just playing good.
Alright, first thing I want to say is you're off.
Oh, thank you
The
so
rest
much.
of you, get off the stage.
Just one time alone, go away. No, but seriously, thank you so much.
The question I wanted to ask is two-part. Number one, you two, what did you think when you first heard Back fighting? And second,
think that was a video game? Okay. Okay, you're first in the you make music? Is that one of your best? The musician channel. What song was it? There's something best for me.
Well, I was most impressed with the fact that he was able to, first off, find and compile those 20 bats that he had, and then just like get them to all sing at once. So,
Wow.
I don't know. It was initial this many bats. There's fruit bats everywhere in my town. That's serious stuff. We have like fruit bats in where I live and everything, and every night like. I can't sleep! I'll make a song out of you just to make it stop. And that's how Stop the Bat was born. Anyway, real life, have you heard this or you actually listen to it? Seriously? It sounds like you're missing anything. For those of you